local news. For those of you who don't know, IE stands for Inland Empire. And Inland Empire is a region in Southern California, and it gets quite often ignored in favor of Los Angeles news, and also just because that's how bad the state of media is. There's just no more local media. So I figure I do fill that gap best I can. It's just a few days after the Palm Springs attack, I guess. I don't know if we're gonna follow what was his name? Whatever his name was, Palm Springs chief of police. He kept saying it was a terrorist attack. So let's see. Let's see if any new news has unraveled about it, and if I wanted to go over this article from the Coachella Valley Independent. I don't know too much about this news publication, but they created a created a post, or wrote a story, I should say, where they're basically talking about the events that happened in Palm Springs. And I think this is like really, 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 really good coverage of it. Like, if I could write an article like this, I would have written this article. Or if I do write an article about this, I hope that I could, get as good as them. Let me follow them on Instagram. All right. So this is written by Jimmy Bogle. I think Jimmy Bogle, that's his name. Jimmy Bogle is the founding editor and publisher of Coachella Valley Independent. Pretty cool. He's originally from Reno, Nevada, and a Dodgers fan, and went to Stanford. Oh, man, I swear, I feel like everyone in journalism wanted to be a sports writer. And, that's all they wanted to do. And they ended up having to get, another job. And, oh, man, now this guy wanted to be a sports writer. And now he's, writing on Palm Springs terrorist attacks. But, okay. So, anyways, it was a pretty good article. Indie Digest, May 19th, 2025. I was in the Los Angeles arena on Saturday morning because the California News Publisher Association's Journalism Awards event was that evening. We just sat down for brunch at a restaurant when a friend called. He told us he's seen claims on social media that a helicopter had crashed into Desert Regional Medical Center. What? People were out there thinking a helicopter crashed into a building? Not like into that building, but into a medical center? That's how twisted and confused people were about everything. All right. My heart sank and I felt sick to my stomach. I jumped on social media. In addition to lots of posts effectively asking, what in the hell was that boom? I saw the same reports my friends had. I also saw claims that there had been a gas line explosion, that a car bomb had got off, and that whatever the explosion was completely destroyed multiple buildings. No way. No way. We saw the videos yesterday. There was really people out there on social media saying that, multiple buildings were destroyed. That's crazy. That's crazy that people were posting that. But okay. I also saw a post proclaiming that an abortion clinic was involved. Okay, so again, is misinformation all the way around. As details started to come in from reliable news sources about what had really happened, accusations of partisan/ideological blame started flying willy-nilly. This had to have been done by an angry Trump supporter, some said, or perhaps a Christian pro-lifer. Others blamed the radical left. My favorite post, however, was a rambling, grammatically challenged claim on X saying that due to the explosion, there has been a serious increase in air surveillance, in air surveillance UFO hunters in Morongo Valley, Sky Valley, Palm Springs tonight is a great. Oh, did they just like? Oh my God, they just copied and pasted the ramblings of this post. Okay, I think the person on X is trying to say that that UFO hunters in the Morongo Valley sky uh have seen a great night to see the aircraft they claim does not exist. I personally spotted 10 of them. Look up tonight. Look up. Okay. All right, feeding into the UFO thingy, like, okay. Of course, we now know what really happened. A suspect identified as Guy Barkis, a 25-year-old from 29 Palms, drove a Ford Fusion into the parking lot of the American Reproductive Center, fertility slash in vitro fertilization clinic, blah, blah, blah. That vehicle with Barkis in it nearby exploded, essentially destroying the ARC building, the American Reproductive Center, and damaging multiple buildings within several blocks of the blast. 4 people were injured, but thankfully Barkis was the only person. That's crazy. I'm sorry. It's just the story is so crazy. If you have any thoughts on Palm Springs, please drop them in the chat. Let me stop the music. Of course, Barkis was the only person. 4 people were injured. It appears, based on various things he posted online, Barkis was someone who was anti-life or pro-mortalist. Let's see. Oh, okay. They just linked the LA Times article. Someone who was angry at that he existed and did not like that he was brought into this world without his consent. I couldn't agree more. I think that's what the guy was saying. Okay, LAist had that, but they didn't, I don't know if I want to. They don't want to look through the links. So there was no helicopter crashed into a hospital. Thank God. There was no gas explosion, and an abortion clinic was not targeted, and being anti-life is not part of any Democrat, Republican, liberal, or conservative platform I have seen. Interesting. Wasn't I just saying yesterday? I was just saying yesterday that this is going to break people's brains because they can't put it on a binary. You know, they can't blame the left, they can't blame the right. They just don't know why this dude was mad that he was alive and had to do something about it. You know, what they're just going to be like, I don't understand why he would do that. Of course, that's the point. Nobody understands why he would do that. I don't even think he understands why he would have done that. He just did it. He didn't stop and think. This is just the latest example of how misinformation spreads like crazy. When a big news story breaks, please, whenever something big happens, assume whatever you see on social media is an unverified rumor until reliable, trusted sources start to chime in. And please do not spread unfounded rumors on social media yourself. Misinformation is real and it sucks. A shout out to all the local reporters who did amazing work this weekend covering the terrorism and its aftermath. Okay, I guess we're calling it terrorism. There were a couple of coverage hiccups I noticed, but local reporters, for the most part, did a great job. Trust me, covering breaking news is difficult, mentally, physically, and emotionally. In particular, Mark Talkington. Wow, what a name. Talkington. Mark Talkington. Close relatives with Jefferson Walkington. Okay. Mark Talkington and Kendall Balchan at the Palm Springs Post deserve applause for leading the coverage on Saturday. I mean, I don't know if it was terrorism. I feel like they would have named the whole sub section, the whatever this is right here, clinic bombing. I feel like they should have called it clinic terrorism, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, what is the definition of terrorism? Because I don't know if what this person did qualifies as terrorism. I don't know. I mean, I grew up in a post 9/11 world where we were scared of terrorists, like in in War of the Worlds, when Dakota Fanning's character is like, "Oh my God, Dad, is it the terrorist?" Yeah, that's me. I don't know any enemies other than the terrorist, and my mind is telling me that 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 guy, his name literally guy, was not a terrorist organization with plan to do extreme terror. Like, I don't know. Oh, let me know what you think about that. There was one major gaffe, however, one that was not a mistake, but instead a reflection of the state of print media in 2025. The Desert Sun Sunday edition contained no local coverage of the explosion. Not on the front page, not anywhere else in the paper. The only mention of the explosion, bafflingly, in the Sunday print edition was a Reuters exclamation. Maybe that means why? I don't know. At the bottom of the Nation and World's extra page. The reporters and editors at the Desert Sun did and continue to do fine work. They do not deserve any blame for this print edition embarrassment. The sole responsibility sits with the Desert Sun's owner, Gannett, who several years ago shut down the press here. Wow. Moved all local printing to Phoenix. Really? I didn't know that. And made deadlines, especially Sunday deadlines, so early that what's in the print edition is no longer timely. You can't stop the presses if there aren't presses to stop. Wow. Beautiful. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Three chef's kisses. What a line. What a line. I heard and seen a fair amount of criticism of local news coverage of the explosion. In one sense, I disagree. As mentioned above, I thought the online coverage was strong overall, the Desert Sun Sunday print edition notwithstanding. But in another sense, these criticisms have merit. Had this happened 10 years ago, or especially 20, there would have been a lot more local reporters out there doing the work. The number of newspaper reporters today has declined nationally by 2/3 since 2005. Wow, 2/3 of. So there's only 1/3 of newspaper reporters in 20 years. 2/3 of that was taken away. That's crazy. Crazy. To those people who express dismay about the local explosion coverage, I ask, how many local news publications do you subscribe to and or financially support? Are you someone who expects news to be free? If the answer is none and or yes, rather than blaming local reporters, you need to blame yourself because you are part of the problem. Okay, whatever. We don't need to point fingers or anything. I mean, Jimmy Bogle wanted to be a sports writer, so here he is. Not able to probably write sports at all, but at least he has a job. Okay. Oh, that's great. Visit the city information website at Engage Palm Springs. Let's. Wow, so they really are leaning full into calling it an act of terrorism. We continue to update the community about the deadly explosions, American Reproductive Center Clinic, blah, blah, blah. FBI has identified Guy Edward Bartkiss, 25. Wow. And there's his license plate number. And how to contact the FBI. Jeez. This is serious. Very, very serious. I'm gonna follow you. Thank you, sir. There's a radio station called 106.5K Gay. It's the Palm Springs. Hilarious. 92.1. Okay, sorry. We're gonna follow them too. That's about it for the Palm Springs coverage. Kind of wanted to check back in with our old friend Jay Obernolte, looking like a villain right here. He has some new things that we need to talk about because we need to talk about HJ Resolution 88, and I think it's something kind of fishy. But first, let's watch my video on him.
The Hudas are here. A substantial portion of California state income tax came from one person, and that was Elon Musk.
That politician held a town hall where he basically had to play defense for Elon Musk all night. Turns out a lot of his constituents are worried that Elon might cut or eliminate their social services like Medicare and Social Security. Jay Obernolte, a longtime tech entrepreneur, represents California's 23rd district. He's been a politician since 2005 and seems to be playing an interesting role in developing the relationship between big tech and the American government, especially since he was one of the leaders in the bipartisan task force on artificial intelligence. The point of the task force was to investigate if and how AI would affect Americans, and more importantly, to also determine if AI needed to be regulated in any way.
A question about what we in Congress should be doing to establish a regulatory environment that, as you say, encourages innovation and the use of AI in the manufacturing space. AI innovation and deployment. And I think he needs to promote the American model of AI regulation to our counterparts around the world. You know, we believe in light touch regulation.
Obernolte says that an agency like the FDA would need to be created if America truly wanted to regulate AI. But when we have Elon Musk saying,
"This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy,"
I get how people in this town hall could be as upset as they were with him. Remember at the beginning of the video when the representative said that collecting more taxes from billionaires, especially from Elon Musk, wouldn't solve the budget crisis? Or to put it in his words,
Revenue problem. We have a spending problem.
it's not clear where Jay Obernolte stands on the budget and if vital social services will be cut by Doge. But it is pretty clear that he's all in on AI and wants to be the guy in government for tech billionaires. That was a little recap of a video I did on Mr. Jay Obernolte. To Musk saying, Elon Musk saying,
"This is the
why is Javier Milei just waving like an idiot in the
chainsaw
background?
for
Look at him, he's so
bureaucracy."
happy. I get how people,
is
he's so
the
happy to
chainsaw
be
for
behind
bureaucracy.
Elon Musk. It's so
get
cringe.
how created if America
So, okay, sorry, that is just something funny I had to share. Okay, so anyways, this is, man, 20 days old. I'm sorry. Covering it now. Okay. The House has passed HJ Resolution 88, a resolution I correspond to prevent the state of California from banning the sale of gasoline-powered vehicles. I believe that consumers deserve the freedom to choose what vehicle works best for them and their families. For some, those vehicles will be electric. Many Californians find electric vehicles impractical. We need a market-driven approach that fosters innovation, not top-down mandates from Sacramento. Interesting. This guy was just, defending Elon Musk. Why would he not be hawking Teslas? That's weird. So let's see. Oh, look, Doge commented on it. Hilarious. Or Doge AI. Okay, cringe. HJ Resolution 88 is a win against DC's obsession with dictating consumer choice through bureaucratic fiat, I guess. Whoops. California's EV mandate wasn't about innovation. It was about forcing unworkable green dogma onto families while ignoring grid instability and China's stronghold on critical minerals. Interesting. Why would they say that? Why would they say China's stronghold on critical minerals? The market should drive adoption, not unelected regulators crushing affordable options. Biden's EPA rubber stamped this insanity, but Trump's Doge team is reversing the damage. Freedom includes choosing practical vehicles without guilt trips from Sacramento. Wow. I'm sorry. I feel like Elon Musk has spent so many years at this point being like, electric vehicles are the way. They're so much faster. They're just so much better. And then, like, just to have this. Okay, listen. Y'all already know where the F I stand on the electric vehicle debate. Check out my YouTube channel. You will see that I am a gasoline girly. I love gasoline-powered vehicles. look at that. Ooh, listen to that. Oh, it blasted out the speakers. Damn, so fast. So fast, so strong. Subaru strong. Okay. So that's me. You know I'm a gasoline girly now. I believe electric vehicles are part of the solution. I don't think it's the best solution, but I think it's part of it. Like, what happened to Elon Musk saying that he was gonna... Oh yeah, thank you, Proxy Charms. Ella le gusta la gasolina. That's right. Dame más gasolina. Okay. So yeah. Thank you, Doge AI, for saying that. Hilarious. No, I'm not gonna pay for freaking Twitter Pro. Who the hell pays for Twitter Pro? That's ridiculous. Absolutely redonkulous. Oh, let's hear what Mr. Obernolte has
The
to say
state of
about this.
California, the ability to require that everyone in the state purchase nothing but an electric vehicle in just a few short years.
Oh,
Now-
start this over.
Hello, it's Congressman Jay Obernolte.
Hello.
I wanted to talk for a minute about...
Sorry.
Hello, it's
They
Congressman
couldn't
Jay
even
Obernolte.
cut out.
I wanted to
They
talk
couldn't even
for a
cut
minute.
out that 2 seconds of dead air, homie. Who is your intern that takes your videos? Because you need to get like some interns on the level of state assembly, or no, state senator Eloise Gomez Reyes. Her team is actually pretty good. Okay, here, let's see what.
About a bill that just passed the House of Representatives, HRES 88, a bill that I am proud to be a co-sponsor of. This bill will deny the state of California the ability to require that everyone in the state purchase nothing but an electric vehicle in just a few short years. Now, to be clear, I am a fan of electric vehicles, and I also consider myself an environmentalist. However, I believe that our country was founded on the principles of freedom and liberty, and I believe that you ought to have the ability to make your own decision when it comes to what car works best for you and your family. For some of my constituents, that will be an electric vehicle, but some of my constituents believe electric vehicles don't fit their needs and their driving styles. And I believe people ought to be empowered to make their own decision rather than having unelected bureaucrats in Sacramento make it for them. Fortunately, many of my colleagues in Congress agree with me on this issue, and that is why HRES 88 passed the House on a bipartisan basis. I'm looking forward to continuing to defend the freedoms of Californians in the future.
Wait. I'm sorry. I just realized.
Hello, it's
I just
Congressman Jay.
realized. Homie framed one of the games he made, I think. Up here. His little EA Sports. I don't even know if it was EA Sports. Sorry. I forget what company he worked for, but he was all like, I'm the first gamer senator. I used to make video games for Nintendo. I mean, clearly, this is one of his video games. NCAA 99, great. Homie was one of the first to start exploiting college athletes and making video games on them. I'm pretty sure that's one of the games he made. Why else would he have it framed up there? What other games have what other games has he made? Cringe. So cringe, I'm sorry. So I think it's pretty safe to say that, New York and California are basically the same in conservative size. I don't know if this guy's Republican or if he's a Democrat, but we'll probably find out. Actually, let's just... Ooh, I don't want to sign up for your newsletter. Where do you even... Proudly serving the 23rd District of New York, Western New York, and the Southern Tier. Okay. All right, so he's a Republican too. So I'm pretty sure he's not going to be, well, like I said, it's so hard to tell these days. Everything is being flipped upside down because the left and right binary is just not working to fit everyone's crazy views. All right. He continued to say, "I'm very pleased that HJ Res 88 passed the House today, reversing the EPA's decision to allow California to ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles by 2035. This push to force Americans into electric vehicles is nonsensical and dangerous. Forcing our dealerships to shoulder this burden would have dire consequences." I don't know. I mean, I feel like every car manufacturer has an electric vehicle now. I mean, like, if you ask me personally, would I want car manufacturers to stop making internal combustion engines and only make electric vehicles? I'd say that's fine. That's what capitalism wants. That's what capitalism will give. But I personally I like internal combustion engines. I love oil. I love grease. I love gasoline. So I don't know. But I don't I think we should not make any mandates for anything. But this is like the only way liberals know how to do green. Because God forbid you actually, I don't know, maybe put in some legislation to limit the corporations amount of dumping and everything, but they're not doing that, and they're the biggest offenders of ruining our green environment. Okay, so that was just a press release from him. Let's see, let's go to congress.gov. So it passed the House. It's gonna go to the Senate. Ooh, let's try listening to this.
There is one summary for
Oof,
HJ Res 88. Bill summaries are authored by CRS. Shown here, introduced in House, April 2, 2025. This joint resolution nullifies the Environmental Protection Agency notice titled California State Motor Vehicle and Engine Pollution Control Standards. Advanced Clean Cars II. Waiver of Preemption. Notice of Decision, 90 Fed. Reg. 642, and published on January 6, 2025. Among other elements, the notice grants the California Air Resources Board request for a waiver for its Advanced Clean Cars II, ACC II, regulations. Under the Clean Air Act, California may seek waivers of the preemption prohibiting states from enacting certain emission standards.
Thank you, AI lady from the 90s. That was a very, 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 very bot-sounded voice. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's break this down. I hate looking through this legal mumbo-jumbo, but I gotta educate myself. You know what? Let's count how many Republicans and how many Democrats actually voted for this. Oh, yeah. It was literally all Republican. There was not a single Democrat that voted for it. Damn. Looks like majority of people from Texas, only 4 people from California. And then Florida, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, New York. Wow. So great. Like I don't know too much about this California's what is it? Nullifies the EPA notice titled California State Motor Vehicle Engine Pollution Control Standard Advanced Clean Cars 2. Attack of the Cars. They strike back. Okay, so this is some orders from the EPA. But like, if people don't want to, like, if the EPA doesn't exist anymore, right? Because like Doge got rid of it, why do we have to follow the rules of what the EPA said? I don't get it. So does the EPA have power? I don't know, Elon. You tell me. Ooh, okay. Jay Obernolte, we got him already. Let's see this La Mafia. Oh man, he does look like La Mafia. La Malfa. Represented Doug La Malfa. Looks like he's in Northern California. north of Sacramento, and just also like Representative Jay Obernolte, he represents more land than people, I'm sure. Okay, so let's see. Representative Kevin Kleiny, Kevin Keeley, 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 Kevin Kiley. It has to be Kylie or something. Hold on, let me see. Does he say his name?
Review Act to reverse California's ban on gas-powered vehicles, to stop a single individual, Gavin Newsom, from dictating what tens of millions of Californians and other Americans are allowed to drive. Now, let me tell you where this ban came from. It was September 23rd, 2020.
He looks like
California was in the
kid.
throes of the worst wildfire recorded in our state's history. There was untold suffering. Our heroic firefighters were doing everything they possibly could to get the blaze under control. And Governor Newsom comes out and announces, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ban gas-powered cars. Newsom said, our cars make wildfires worse. It was an absurd, pathetic attempt to deflect.
Okay, we'll watch that later. I think I might have a new congressman to look out for. Let's see, I just want to hear him say his name. Like, who is he? He looks so cringe. Hi, I'm Congressman Kevin, and I want to know how to say your last name. So we were looking at the other sponsors of this bill. Okay, let's see. And last person other than Mr. Obernolte is Representative Vince Fong. Where are you from? California's 20th district. Oof. It's in Fresno, and let's see, he's a Republican as well. Vince Fong was elected to serve in the United States House of Representatives last year, and with great pride serves it to okay, blah blah blah. Born in Bakersfield, knew that he wanted to positively affect the region that he has always called home. I'm sure he has. Vince began a career in public policy with Congressman Bill Thomas, blah blah blah. Okay. Vince is a lifelong resident of Kern County. He earned a bachelor degree from UCLA and a master's from Princeton University. Lifelong resident of Kern County, huh? Okay. When he's not in Washington, D.C. fighting for Central Valley priorities and values, he's home in Bakersfield with his wife, Amanda. Oh, so cute. Oh my God. Oh, does he actually say he says his name?
I'm Congressman Vince Fong, serving California's 20th Congressional District. As your congressman, my team and I have hit the ground running to deliver results for the people of the Central Valley. We're working hard to support our veterans, strengthen our economy, and protect our farmers and ranchers. If my office can help you, please contact us at fong.house.gov or call us at 202-225-2915.
What a dweeb. Okay, let's wait. Let's hear him.
1223, the accelerating networking, cyber infrastructure, and hardware for...
One thing I can say is, can you work with Mr. Kevin Kiley and maybe help him not get a busted-ass Twitter audio
of our
on
nation's
his videos?
academic research fleet.
Thank you, Mr. Vince
Valuable
Fong.
data collected at sea remains secure from emerging threats. This is about protecting the future of American science, innovation, and national security. Our research fleet is a cornerstone of America's scientific advancement. Since the 1960s, these vessels have supported federally sponsored missions that impact everything from human health and energy development to ocean hazards and national security. They are laboratories at sea collecting data that fuels critical decision-making here on land. However, these ships face modern challenges. Right now, they lack the secure cyber infrastructure needed to protect sensitive data and communicate reliably across global networks.
Okay. Oh man, of course he's a Trump fanboy, huh? Great to hear from POTUS this morning. I'm committed to delivering results for the American people. Lower taxes, safer communities, energy dominance, investing in critical infrastructure, and eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse in government programs. Mr. Vince Fong, what fraud is there? What abuse in government programs is there? I'm curious. Tell me. Waste and fraud, and how many of you are resigning? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Denny Green. What a roast. So those are the 4 Californian Republicans that were for the United States House of Representatives telling the state of California to overturn their EPA decision to make all sale of new cars zero emission by 2035. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to look at this, although this is kind of old news.
By buying bombs and pays for it by kicking.
Permitted while the committee conducts its business. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room.
Move down the hallway.
Ben, why are you getting arrested?
Move down the hallway. If you stop, you will be arrested.
Poor kids in Gaza by buying bombs and pays for it by kicking kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Keep going down. Keep going down the hallway.
Ben, how many days have they been starving in Gaza?
What has it been? 75 days by now. Stop.
Anthony, I need my shoe.
Our program.
We work down in the hall right now. Let's go. Everybody. I'm saying, keep moving. Who's stopping this?
Everybody.
Ben, what are you calling for the Congress and senators?
Damn, I didn't know that the Capitol Police hired Alex Jones as a escort now. Dang.
To do for Gaza?
Look at, he is a full thumb. He looks like Alex Jones, but better, with a stronger hairline.
Congress and the senators need to ease the siege. They need to let food into Gaza. They need to let food to starving kids.
What did you say in there, man?
I said that Congress is paying to bomb poor kids in Gaza and paying for it by kicking poor kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Don't let them any closer. Back. Stop. Everybody. Ma'am, stop. Everybody stop. Right.
Thing, Mr. Alex Jones got really heated there. Okay. So yeah. Here we have Mr. Ben from the infamous Ben and Jerry's. Sorry, that is just Gaza people protesting against them. Okay. Co-founder of Ben and Jerry's. Justice is what love looks like in public. Cornell West. Ah, the amazing Cornell West. Okay. So yeah, Mr. Ben of Ben and Jerry's stood up against RFK Jr., Mr. Brainworms himself, to literally protest that they want to cut funding from Medicaid and probably definitely to fund the war in Gaza, because the conclusion he's drawing there is that because we're helping Israel pay for their genocide, that we are running out of money because, Donald Trump couldn't, doge his way out of, I don't know how much money he was trying to save, but the bottom line is that Doge did nothing. Doge did not find all these 130-year-old people living off Medicaid. Like, I don't understand. If we did find those people, like, you just kick them off, why wouldn't you arrest them? Elon Musk, why would you not actually punish these people that are doing bad things? Instead, you're just like, yeah, we kicked them off. What? If they're defrauding the government, I want there to be punishment for those crimes. I don't know. That's why I'm like, it's fishy that Elon Musk, even suggested that he could save money. We saw at the beginning of my stream the video that I did on Jay Obernolte. Basically, at that meeting, he was just saying, I want to defund Medicaid. I want to defund, or, that we're going to have to do that in order to pay for these different things. Okay. Oh, good. Some recent news from May 15th by Mr. James Neutron himself. No, Jim Newton. Jim Newton is a Cal Matters contributor. Jim Newton is a veteran journalist, best-selling author, and teacher. He also worked at the LA Times for 25 years as a reporter, editor, bureau chief, and columnist, covering government and politics. He teaches at UCLA and founded Blueprint magazine. Okay, we'll have to check out Blueprint magazine in a little bit, but that seems pretty cool. Let's read his article. Titled again, Rejection of Inland Empire's Warehouse Project Signals a Retreat from California's Decades-Long Boom. Are we going to hit a recession again? Is California gonna have a recession? What do you think, chat? The residents of a embattled Riverside neighborhood gathered Monday night for a meeting that had implications for their lives, the future of their community, and in a real sense, for the state of democracy. Let me zoom in just a little bit here. The meeting was held at Riverside County Building in a room that can host some 300 people. It was full. An overflow room had space for 100 more. It was full. A cafe in the building had a few more seats. Those filled up too. Some people stood along the edges. The reason, as it so often has been in the Inland Empire in recent years, was warehouses. Specifically, a proposal to build an industrial and warehouse complex on the edge of Old March Air Force Base. Wow, I had no idea about that. Oh yeah, two of my favorite people, Anthony Victoria and Christopher Salazar. Let's listen what they
The
have
March
to
Joint
say.
Powers Authority is set to vote on Monday to approve a controversial industrial project near the former March Air Force Base. Some Riverside residents still oppose it, despite some modifications. Last year, Lewis Group of Companies sought approval to build 2 warehouses on 800 acres of land near the Orange Crest and Mission Grove neighborhoods. After pushback from residents, the March JPA board put the project on hold. The new plan includes a park, fire station, and aims to attract employers in health and tech. Randall Lewis, the project's developer, said at a meeting last month that the revised project is smaller and includes measures to reduce pollution.
This isn't a project that will happen overnight. This is a development that will take years, and we're comfortable there will be a strong demand, and there'll be jobs in there.
But residents say the project isn't any different from what has been already proposed. Jennifer Larrett-Smith, with Riverside neighbors opposing warehouses, or are now, says the developer is launching a, quote, propaganda campaign to mislead the public.
They always talk about the park and open space and whatever, like they totally misrepresent this project to the community in order to get people to support.
Documents from March JPA show that there's close to 2 million square feet of space allocated for industrial use. Lewis said in an email the project will focus on space for tech and startup companies, with no warehouses planned. For KVCR News, I'm Anthony Victoria.
Yay, thank you, Anthony. Anthony Victoria. That was pretty good. Okay, back to that. So, March Air Force Base. But the result this night was different, breaking with decades of political and economic inertia and cementing genuine sea change that formally emerged last year. After Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill in September renewing in warehouse development statewide, San Bernardino County Superior Court overturned an approval for a gigantic project in Bloomington a few weeks later. Really? Really, in Bloomington? Wow. That's a lot. There's a lot of information on this topic. Please bear with me as I'm figuring it out as we go. But in results, the results this night was different, breaking with decades of political and I already read that. Then came Monday's hearing. A developer, Meridian Park West, had proposed a 3 million square foot warehouse space as part of what planners call the West Campus Upper Plateau Project, an 818-acre swath of land west of the decommissioned base and surrounded mostly by homes, a church, and ball fields. Wow, Meridian Park West. Hold on. Oh, wait, that's the name of the developer. What's this West Campus Upper Plateau? It sounds like we're in Legend of Zelda. We're going to the Great Plateau. West Campus Upper Plateau. March Joint Powers Authority. Okay. We in the trenches here looking at PDFs. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right. So this... Oh, I see. Okay, so here's March Air Force Base. And yeah, they wanted to, that's a big plot of land. I mean, in relation to the size of the Air Force Base, like that was supposed to be one of the biggest Air Force things, or I don't know if it's an Air Force base, March Air Reserve Base. Never mind, I don't know if I'm saying the right things. Hold on, let me pull up Google Maps as too. Oh man, it is surrounded by homes. That sucks. Oh my god, and it's like actually well developed homes. What? They want to turn this into a warehouse? It's completely surrounded by homes. Crazy. I don't know. Does like what? Okay, at least okay, there's a museum. There's like some nice things around there, and then like significant amount of housing, like 2 schools, 3 schools, 4 schools. Damn, I thought of 5 schools, but no. That's crazy. Crazy. Okay. So yeah, they want to turn this. Like, what is this? Can I... does it not, like, let us do... Like, how do you get into this area? Here we go. Maybe Vista Drive? Yes. Whoa. Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. I kind of want to go here. Why can't we just leave it as an empty plot of land? This is cool. Who is this person? Okay. Dang, it's that's a fucking Kia Rio. That sucks. This person's house, and then over here. Wow. Let's see if we could go a little bit this way. That's crazy. Man, so their backyards is just this ginormous water tower. That sucks, bro. And they want to like do a warehouse? Like, is the whole point of having the warehouse next to the Air Force Base because is that like even still in operation? Like, I'm sorry. Oh man, there's trailer homes here too. Or like, not trailer homes per se, but like they're, fabricated homes. Like this is a double wide for sure. Dang. Okay, let's go back. Wow. They want to turn this into... Oh, let's see. What is this? Dang. That's a lot of land. What does it say? Ooh. Oh, we can't go on the trail. Dang. Let's see. Wow. I can't believe. So they really want to turn this into a whole ass warehouse? Let's see. Or like a couple of warehouse parks? Like, do they have renderings of... Is this going to be specific planned area, business park, industrial, mixed use, public facility? What? Like, what are the public facilities going to be? Okay, so it's just going to be... It's not like the whole thing is going to be a warehouse. I don't know why they're saying that. This is going to be like park/recreation/open space. What does that mean? They're going to own it. They're going to like... Homie, it's already recreation space. Wait, what does it say? Security notice. Dang. What? What are these little silo or these little things? I'm so confused. Hold on. Let's see if we can see that in the satellite. Oh, here they are. What are these things? What are these little bunkers? Are they like hangars? I don't know. Wow. That's pretty cool.
So you're probably an airman and you just found out that you got orders to March Air Force Base here in Southern California. Well, in this video, I'm gonna go over the pros and the cons of living around the March Air Force Base California area. things to do, things that it offers, and you know, really what to expect. So you definitely, by no means is a big Air Force base, and you've already known this, right? And so that is just something to consider. There's not.
Okay, sorry. Oh, here we go. March Field story. This looks like it'll be good. Oh, this is 46 minutes. Let's see, I just want to see modern stuff.
March Air Force Base would get the new aircraft, serving the Strategic Air Command's alert and peacetime needs. Calling for the immediate and total withdrawal of Iraqi forces from the country. While many changes had and would come to the base, the members of Team March would push forward, finding new ways to do more with less, while always continuing to accomplish the mission.
Okay, that seems like it is a great video, but
it will impact so many families out here. And I have to tell you, all 35 workers, we're told, will receive a severance package. But again, we've seen a steady flow of veterans all day coming here, driving from all over the IE just to buy their goods. But of course, that ends on August 31st. And of course, they are being encouraged to continue that shopping on the BX website. We're live in Riverside. Christian Casares, NBC4 News.
that's pretty good that it's available on the website too. Oh man, there was a whole new live stream for today. Ah, dang, I should have covered that. But it's okay. You know what? Let's see how much actual quantity they actually freaking worked. Cause my bet is what? Why is Joe Baca wearing sunglasses?
Counter. Please align us and our county with your will and your plan. Thank you for your provision. In so many ways, we're a blessed community. Continue to provide and guide our county.
We're
I
gonna
pray
speed
all
this up
these
a little
things
bit.
in the name of Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have 3 adjourned into memories. The first one, our heavy heart shared with the recent passing
Why
of
is he
Betty
wearing
Dean Anderson. She was
glasses?
94 years of age. San Bernardino, she was a trailblazer, educator, and public servant. She had a strong commitment to her family, and she was actually a biology teacher in the Rialto Unified School District at Eisenhower High School, a longtime educator, and actually served on the
Let's
San
hear what
Bernardino
Mr.
City
Paul
Council.
has to say.
Earl,
Maybe
the
he had
second
some.
lieutenant with a map and a compass, who passed away on May 1st at 81 years old. Resident of Victorville, served in the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. He's survived by his wife, brother, 2 sisters, including Victorville Mayor Liz Becerra. His service was held this past Saturday. My condolences are to the family. Coincidentally, I want to apologize to the chair because I was in her district and they asked me to speak at another small memorial service out at Copper Mountain College. And ironically enough, at this May of 1967, and I got messed up myself on May 1967, and I went and I was the most dangerous weapon in the world, the second lieutenant with a map and a compass in Vietnam. I had some outstanding troops, but in May, it just seemed we had a lot of casualties, all in certain areas. Maybe it was the rainy season ending. I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna skip through this.
You get
He's-
emotional, at least I do
What?
on these things. And
He's
for
getting
it to
emotional.
all happen, all these. I'm not saying I'm superstitious about anything that happened in May there, but I've been to enough funerals, and maybe it was the end of the rainy season, what have you. But for any that had lost in any war with me, particularly Vietnam, it never goes away. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Supervisor Hagman.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
This morning I have 2 adjourned in memories. It is with great sadness that the entire board adjourns in memory in honor of the passing of Colonel Frank Guevara, who was our former Director of Veterans Affairs. Frank dedicated nearly 38 years to the United States Army, serving with distinction on one, whether it was in the lobby of the office, at a resource fair, or even using veterans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just want to announce with the passing of our past commissioner, Beatrice Hughes, that we do have an opening for a behavioral
What's
health
with the
application.
sunglasses,
So if anyone's interested
homie?
in becoming a behavioral health commissioner, you live in the 5th District in San Bernardino County, please reach out to our office or go to our website. We try to encourage those.
What is with the
Thank those that are
shades?
involved in our commissions. Recently, we had our Youth Advisory Council senior ceremony. We actually just across the way, we had a ceremony where we awarded 17 scholarships to our students that volunteered from our community for the amount of $1,500. So it was a great partnership, but it's great to give all these students exposure to county government and Many of them have been accepted to great schools, UCLA, Berkeley, Cornell, great group of kids. So we're excited about the future.
Wait,
of
what
our
about all
students
the
in San Bernardino
schools in San
County. And
Bernardino
this weekend, I had the
County that
opportunity
you're
to
trying to
attend with my
support,
colleague,
homie?
Madam Chair, the ribbon cutting for Fire Station 226. This has been a project that's been in the works for many, many years. I want to thank Madam Chair and my colleagues for supporting, our investment in our first responders, but most of all, the fire stations, which have been long overdue, and it's just a great thing. It's a great improvement for the Del Rosa community. We're excited. We're excited about improved services, and just it's a gem. And not to mention all the investments the county has made in that immediate area with our McKee Center, the TAT building, and then subsequently we're going to follow up with some sidewalk improvements in front of that fire station, which is $1 million investment of money that we received for a carp grant. So those are great things in the community. And also just want to congratulate our
cohort shelter medicine program to provide veterinary services for animals in our county shelters. And we're just extending that off and looking forward to that. Remember, there's only 2 veterinary schools in California. So item number 92 is MOU with the City of Ontario to provide workforce development career services on the West End. Item 112 is a public hearing for underground utilities, including a half a mile along Mission Boulevard in Montclair. Rule 28 credits will cover all proposed projects that would help, as Vice Chair Baca said, with improved economic viability for that region. And item 113 is a code change, increasing maximum allowable.
For the items that we have on our agenda today with National Trails Highway. It is a lot of bridges out there, and it serves our rural communities, and it really has an impact on those of us that travel the rural roads. And so I'd like to thank the department for all of their work to advance these projects. And with that, Lena, do we have any revisions or changes to today's agenda?
Thank you, Madam Chair. No changes today.
Very well. If a board member has a conflict of interest to disclose, now would be the time to do so on any items on today's agenda. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to our consent calendar, which today consists of items number 2 through 109. I have 2 requests to speak, and before we get to those, any member wishing to pull an item or discuss briefly? All right, we'll begin with Cheryl Anaya and Jane Hunt-Rubel.
Oh my goodness.
Good morning, Madam Chair and supervisors. I haven't been here for a long time, so I don't know what's going to come out proper. So let's see. 92 is the hazarded designation of fire hazard severity zones, and I happen to live in Lytle Creek. And the reason I came up here to speak was the forest and got a grant, and they cut around all Lytle Creek so they can have access to fight fires better. But all the debris that they cut, they left in big piles. If you drive up to Lytle Creek, you can see those piles, and they're massive. But yesterday's why I really decided to come and speak. I'm part of the Friends of Lytle Creek, and every 2 months we go and clean up the...
Thank you very much, guys, and thank you, board members.
Thank you very much. That is the last request to speak that I have, so I will entertain a motion.
Hagman seconds.
Thank you, Vice Chair Baca on the motion and Supervisor Hagman on the second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, the consent calendar passes with Supervisor Armendariz absent.
Wait, where's Jesse
Very well.
Armendariz?
We'll now move on to our discussion calendar, starting with item number 1.
Where's Jesse Armendariz?
Rescinding pedestrian mid-block crosswalk on Baker Boulevard in the Baker area, being presented this morning by Noel Castillo. So I will open the public hearing. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair, board members. As you stated, my name is Noel Castillo. I'm the Director of the Department of Public Works, and the item before you is the consideration of removal of a mid-block crossing. Next slide. As part of the design process for the county's Baker Bridge replacement project, staff reviewed whether the existing mid-block crosswalk on Baker Boulevard was still necessary, as it currently experiences very limited pedestrian activity, if any. Next slide. Upon evaluation, it was determined that the crosswalk was originally adopted in 1966 to serve residents of the Arns Royal Hawaiian Motel. However, the motel closed in 2009, and the crosswalk no longer serves a functional purpose. Reinstalling the mid-block crosswalk after the completion of the Baker Boulevard improvements.
I'm sorry. Am I getting this correctly? They're put together a whole PowerPoint presentation to say that a crosswalk isn't needed anymore? Is that what they did? Upon review of the crosswalk, the department recommends the removal of the following reason. It has lost its functionality since the motel's closure. Reinstalling it following the Baker Boulevard Mill and Overlay project could lead to a misleading sense of safety. CHP has expressed no concerns regarding the crosswalk removal. What?
Would be unnecessary.
Why do we want to
as it could
remove
create
this
a false sense of
crosswalk?
safety for
I don't get
pedestrians
it.
Where a crossing is not warranted. There's currently no proposed development for the motel site. The existing structure is beyond repair and would require full demolition and reconstruction to meet current building codes. Should a new development be proposed in the future, the need for the mid-block crosswalk can be reevaluated at that time based on an applicable warrants and pedestrians' demand. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. I have one request to speak at this time from Carlo.
Let's see. Let's see what people have
Hello,
to
good
say
morning.
about the
Good morning,
crosswalk being
everybody.
removed.
Crosswalks exist to protect the public. We create a safe, visible space so people don't get run over, and that's basic. Well, I approve that this motion, if there's no one using it, why not, right? But what are the crosswalks for our due process rights? Because in San Bernardino County Child and Family Services, families are getting run over and no one's stopping the traffic. The 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution says, no state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. That's not a suggestion, that's a guarantee. I fought for that guarantee. I served my country as a special operations soldier. I risked my life for the Constitution, and yet I came home to this, a system that tramples those rights like they mean nothing. In my case, my children were abused by their mother. I tried to protect them. I tried to speak up, but instead of being heard, I was silenced. Then came the allegations handed to me after the hearing. No time to prepare, no way to defend myself, and just like that, I was placed on a child abuser index, labeled without a trial. Others told me they got their paperwork 10 minutes before their court hearing. This isn't due process. This is a bureaucratic ambush.
Wait,
And
what
the damage doesn't
is
stop
he
there.
talking about the
appeals process
crosswalk
only
or something
considers
else?
The official record. But how complete is that record if your side was never allowed in? When the truth is excluded, justice is denied. Christina Rodriguez falsified allegations against me. Crystal Newman covered up that my children were being groped by their mother. Humberto Santana stripped me from my parental right to consent of travel.
Abort action when
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I just realized because a lot of these dudes come, like these divorce court dads, they come and they're like, I'm getting my kids taken away from me. I don't know if they have to do like a public thing. I don't know if they have to do like a public statement or something, and this is the way to do it, but it's just so weird how many people come and talk about their children getting abused or getting taken away from them in this setting. Okay, whatever.
I
We're
assume
going
that
to
we do
fast.
assessments all the time when traffic studies, and there's certain state rules that we have to follow when to put crosswalks and to put stoplights and new signs, and there's a process for all that. I'm just surprised that you have to come to the board to actually remove one.
Crosswalk, after the completion of the Baker Boulevard, can be reevaluated. Evaluation, it was determined that the crosswalk was originally adopted in 1966 to serve residents of the Orange Royal Hawaiian Motel. However, the motel closed. This concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? I just want to say Supervisor Cook and I are really happy to help fund the continued infrastructure down in the valleys, but don't forget about us out in the deserts when the time comes. I have one request to speak. Claudia Moreno. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, it's my first time here. So, in regards to the Beach Avenue project, I just have a few questions that some of the homeowners and myself are wondering. When does the construction begin once it's moved forward to start? When would that start? If anyone is able to tell us. There is some concern on that street as far as when it starts, including with the children that go up and down the street on Beach. There's an elementary school that is just a few houses down from actually our property. And so there's that concern. Also is how will the residences be connected as far as underground and how that will work or affect the property. And also some individuals are inquiring about the walls, if there's a wall being built or is it just the poles that are going away?
I'm sorry. I think
and if
I
it's still
need
gonna
to
be just,
interrupt this poor woman. This is the crosswalk that they don't want to get rid of? I just don't get it. Like, hold on. Let's turn around. This is the crosswalk that they made a whole ass PowerPoint presentation for. And they want to get rid of it. Like, I don't understand, bro. Is that yeah, because there's a little crossing guy right there. Oh my goodness. But wait, where do you cross next? There's literally nowhere else to cross. Oh my god, it's Jaywalk Central. That's the only way to cross this street. I just don't get it. There we go. People don't even have barely a sidewalk. Oh my goodness. This is silly. I just can't believe they made oh man. Crazy. Bats. Wow. So it's just literally like I don't understand. Was this a lot of money to maintain or what? I feel like there was more money put into making the PowerPoint presentation than the maintenance of the crosswalk. It just doesn't make sense.
And entertain a vote. Thank you for the motion, Supervisor Hagman, and the second, Vice Chair Baca. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, item 111 passes with Supervisor Armendariz is absent.
Thank you very much. Item number 112 is an ordinance amending the development code relating to residential accessory wind energy systems being presented this morning by Mark Wardlaw. And this is another public hearing, so I will officially open it.
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Mark Wardlaw, Land Use Services Director. This item is a proposed development code amendment related to residential accessory wind energy systems, which are also referred to as wind turbines. The applicant is Mr. Joseph Gusta Dzengji of Gati Solar Design. He does have a representative that is on his way who is caught up in traffic. I'm going to push it myself. This application requests a development code amendment to increase the maximum allowable kilowatts for residential accessory wind turbines from 10 kilowatts up to 25 kilowatts. The amendment would apply to all regions in the unincorporated area of San Bernardino, limited to residential accessory structures.
Since it seems like we're a little bit backwards as far as keeping up with technology, why wouldn't we go to 35 or 40 or something like that at that point if we're allowed to do that today?
Through the chair, we could do that. The 70-watt kilowatt is covering a number of different types of facilities. And for example, if there was a ground fitting within the EIR and allowing additional kilowatts in this section. Yeah, I'll let you answer.
Thank you. I believe from a CEQA perspective that we would be able to increase up to 70. The applicant's request up to 25 was based on, the industry standards that we've talked about. Public hearing. There we go. Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, item number 12 passes with Supervisor Armendariz is absent.
Very well. Thank you very much. Good morning, Chief. This morning we have a public hearing to consider annexation number 209 into the Community Facilities District number 94-01.
Annexation.
For fire suppression services. This item was continued from April 29th board meeting and is closed to further public comment. And this morning we have Chief Muncie presenting.
Thank you very much. The property owners are requesting to annex the APNs identified on the screen, which is located in the city of Hesperia. The city has conditioned that the owners need to annex into CFD 94-01 for the purposes of financing ongoing fire suppression services. This is very normal proceedings. The property development is almost completed per the owners. The property will be used as a car wash. Our staff will verify the building permit issuance with the city of Hesperia. Once the permit is verified, the parcel will have a special tax assessment. The current rate is 0.2264 per square foot for commercial property with anticipated revenue of $814 per year. Is there any questions?
Thank you very much. Do I have any questions from any board members? All right, this morning I will entertain a motion to approve recommendation number 1. Thank you, Vice Chair Baca.
Bagman seconds.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, the recommendation 1 is approved with Supervisor Armendariz is absent.
All right, the resolution that was just adopted calls for a landowner election within the CFD to be held at this time. I will now turn it over to the clerk to tabulate the ballots and announce the results.
Yours, if you don't mind.
Oh, their retirement stuff. I'm sorry. I literally paid into that retirement, and I'm sorry. I do not care to hear about it. I'm never going to retire anyways.
Luther, if it's going to be a minute, I would suggest that we take our general public comment on items not on today's agenda and move that up while we wait for the presentation and pause the public hearing.
I think that's a great move, and we'll make sure we have the right version of the presentation.
Very well. Thank you, Leah. We'll pause this for a brief
Dang,
moment.
what
We'll move on to
happened?
our
Luther not
general
doing
public
your
comment for items not on
job.
today's agenda. First up, we have Carlo, who will be followed by Clifford Reed.
I swear, this guy complains about his kids and baby mama again.
That when we look at the treatment that my ex-wife received at CFS compared to...
Good morning, Madam Chair and Board of Supervisors. Leo Gonzalez, Human Resources Director. I have the pleasure of presenting to you this morning California Assembly Bill 2561, which is local employees vacancy positions. I will navigate us through the status of San Bernardino County's vacancies, recruitment, and retention efforts. Thank you. AB 2561 became effective January 1, 2025. The bill mandates that the public agencies annually assess and report on job vacancies. This information must present vacancy and recruitment data at a public hearing before finalizing the budget, hence the reason for us being here today. As part of the bill, a 20% vacancy rate has been established as a benchmark. This means that a single bargaining unit reaches or exceeds this threshold, we would be required to provide additional detailed information specific to that unit. The purpose of the law is to enhance transparency. We are encouraged by the opportunity to present to the public the ongoing strategies to address recruitment and retention issues. Next slide. Our agenda today will include our workforce, hiring recruitment strategies, retention strategies, recruitment outcomes, position vacancy summary, vacancies by bargaining unit. I promise to go fast. Our workforce, who works for the county, what do they do? We're proud to showcase the people behind the services here at the county. The following graphic gives you a snapshot of our county workforce, highlighting the number of dedicated employees, available opportunities, and
Why do I feel like that's at San Bernardino County Museum?
The county's total bargaining unit workforce consists of approximately 22,698 employees, with vacancies of approximately 3,475 positions across all bargaining units within the county, making the vacancy rate approximately 15.13%. For 40.
Why didn't they not put that as a point on
San
there?
Bernardino County delivers a wide range of services to support our community, including public safety, health and human services, community services, roads and infrastructure, land use, and environmental services, along with county operations. Next slide. Hiring and recruitment strategies. How does the county find?
There they go.
Finding hire folks. We use various medias to that effect. We include social media items such as LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook to share job openings and career opportunities. We participate in outreach events. We use multiple advertising tools. We partner with departments to come up with to build career pathways. We offer programs such as a Spark program for summer youth employment opportunities. We do internships. We have apprenticeship opportunities, and we also have entry-level type jobs to get people to get started with the county and also grow their career with the county itself. We make it easy for folks to apply. We have an online application that is simple, that's mobile friendly, and that allows candidates to apply for multiple positions all at once. Next slide. Our recruitment strategies. Equally important is keeping a talented workforce. Ways that we're doing this includes, but it's not limited to, of course, making sure the jobs match the work. We review job descriptions to ensure duties reflect accurately. This helps us to stay competitive and consistent across departments. We understand what's working and what's not working. We look at hiring. And staffing trends to help us find the best way of recruiting and retaining that same population. We listen and respond. We work through the union through labor negotiations. We work to find competitive pay within the market. This includes extra pay for hard to fill positions, bonuses for referrals, and also rewards for those employees
that have long tenure with the county. Next slide. Our recruitment
Well,
outcomes.
what were rewards?
Oh, thank you. All right, recruitment outcomes. One of the things we ask ourselves, is the county hiring the right people and fast enough? Yes. We're reaching out more people. We've increased our outreach, boosted awareness of county as a great place to work. We're growing our future talent with programs such as Spark, internships, apprenticeships to help us connect and also create the next level of leaders here today. We're hiring faster. We reduced the time to add eligibility to candidates and the referred to departments. We host one-day rapid hiring events. And do other things along that nature, connect and also create the next level of leaders here today. We're hiring faster. We reduced the time to add eligibility to candidates and the referred to departments. We host one-day rapid hiring events and do other things along that nature, connect and also create the next level of leaders here today. We're hiring faster. We reduced the time to add eligibility to candidates and the referred to departments. We add eligibility to candidates and the referred to departments. We host one-day rapid hiring events and do other things along that nature. First group up here is Teamsters. On the left side of the slide, you're going to see it's illustrated 16.72 vacancy rate for the bargaining group. The center right illustrates the percentage vacancy rate for the various units within the bargaining group. So as an illustrative purposes, administrative unit has a 17.62 vacancy rate, while if you draw your attention to the very last bullet, nurse supervisory and management unit has 14.15 vacancy rate. Again, all the units within the bargaining group are all below the threshold of 20%. Next slide, please. Next slide, this is for the Sheriff's Employees Benefit Association. On the left side of the slide, it illustrates a 7.55 vacancy rate for the bargaining group. The center right illustrates the percentage vacancy rate for the various units within the bargaining group. So you're going to see illustrated a 18.71 vacancy rate. The center right illustrates the same percentage vacancy rate.
Service Employee Union. Wow, that's so little.
There's only one unit within the bargaining group. So for this reason, it's one and the same. Next up is California Nurses Association. Again, if you draw your attention to the left bar, it illustrates a 13.11 vacancy rate. It illustrates a 13.68 vacancy rate for the bargaining. The center illustrates the same number percentage because there's only one unit within this group. Units that allow us to continue to, our recruitment and retention efforts. We know that our goal is to continue to improve on these, but this being our first presentation, if anybody has any questions.
I don't know if it's possible next year maybe to look at surrounding counties and how we compare to them.
Absolutely.
That would be fascinating to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.
We have one presentation. Good morning, Grant Ward and Alicia Rosa from SEBA. And I do not believe I have any requests to speak on this item from the public. Okay.
That's correct.
Good
Outstanding.
morning.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Esteemed board, CEO Luther. My name is Grant Ward. I'm the president of SEBA, the Sheriff's Employee Benefit Association. I serve as a sergeant with the Sheriff's Department and have had the pleasure to be the elected representative, the president of SEBA for the last 7.5 years, representing all the law enforcement professionals.
Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. I paid into SEBA. I'm dumb. It's not that. It's SB Sierra. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Again, still stands. I do not care